Hello readers, this is Johnny Hunkins of Popular Hot Running Magazine, and this is Sam Davis of Tubular Technologies Incorporated, better known as TTI. TTI, many of you may already know, specializes in exhaust products and headers for Mopars. And they also do a lot of other stuff that's kind of under the radar for other companies, but chances are if it's a really nice product, you guys made it. But I digress. TTI is here in Corona, California, and we are here with our 1968 Plymouth Valiant project car with the Indy 500-inch low deck wedge motor. And we had a special need for a really good exhaust system that was not being filled. We actually have in this engine a stock location exhaust port in a low deck wedge big block in an A-body with a very large exhaust port, and not wanting to cut our fender wells for fender well headers. And we actually realized that there was no product out there that fit that bill. And Sam, you came to the rescue, to me and to Russ over at Indy Cylinder Heads and the folks over at Riley Motorsports, and created this great product that in our last video we showed you the installation of, and so we have all the details of that in another video. So but that comes to my point here is, Sam, can you tell us a little bit about your history, why TTI headers are so good, why they're so pervasive, why is everybody using them? You've been at this for a long time. Tell us a little bit about your facility here in Corona, what you do and how long you've been at it.
Well, actually I started working with Mopars, Johnny, back in '62, the original Max Wedge 413 car.
Before I was born.
Yeah, that's probably true. You're making me old. So. But at any rate, you know, there was nobody really fulfilling a need for Mopars. A good market for it, and all we do is specialize in Mopars, so we make things for all the different combinations of small blocks, big blocks, the Hemis, and then the ABE and even C cars.
Wow.
As well as late model stuff, the SRT8s, and the Hemi trucks. We do that as well.
And also the Gen 3 Hemis, I noticed.
Yeah, Gen 3 Hemis and the earlier cars, right. Make complete systems for all those as well.
Well, one thing I notice about TTI headers, because I've had a chance to work with a lot of headers over the years, and one thing about TTI headers that everybody tells me, and that I just found out myself, is you do a really, really good job of making sure everything fits. The guy buying a set of TTI headers pretty much knows he can install them in his car, and he's not going to have clearance problems or fabrication headaches or problems with getting him into the car. As we saw yesterday, these things fit, and it's all because you put in such a large amount of research and time in fabricating the jigs and the tooling fixtures and so forth to ensure that they really work. And what I'd like to show folks today is maybe show them around the facility and show them exactly, you know, this is not some backyard garage project that just sprung up yesterday. You guys are a force to be reckoned with, and I just want to show all you guys what TTI is all about here, what they do. So why don't you give us a show and show us what you got around here?
Okay, Johnny, we'll come on and I'll show you a few things in the shop here. And
right on. So what do we got here, Sam? Looks like some tubing.
Yeah, this is mild steel tubing that we use on most of the headers. 20-foot lengths that comes in, and we'll cut it to the necessary length and go from there.
Right on. Now you've got everything from 1 3/4 inch all the way up to 2 1/8, 2 1/4.
2 1/4, yeah. The big Hemis are 2 1/4 inch too.
And at this station, they're cutting the tubes into predetermined lengths. This thing is making mandrel bends so that the radius is constant and the diameter is constant throughout the length of the pipe. This cool machine is a CMM, computer measuring machine, and TTI uses it to verify the measurements on their pipes so that each one can be verified to make sure that they're all alike. That's how you guarantee your quality control. So he's touching it down in different places in the pipe, and the machine is recording its location in space. Wow, isn't that something? You can look at it, and it's an exact copy of this sucker right here. Now he's going to trial fit it into the fixture. These clamps. How's that? That's a perfect fit, Sam. Now, over 30 years of building headers for Mopars means that TTI has tooling fixtures for lots and lots of applications for Mopars. So whenever they get ready to build a header application, they go to one of these bins and they pull down the fixtures so that they can mock up the pipes and build them. And here he's going to trim these pipes to length before they get mocked up for welding. Here there's more trimming to length.
See how the saw is set on an angle to cut it so it's the exact right shape to fit into the fixture.
Oh, that's cool.
Like we see on the bender after it was bent, it fits perfectly into the flange.
Now all over TTI, you'll see these fixtures everywhere with pipes mocked up in them. And these, if I'm not mistaken, Sam, these are welding fixtures, right?
Yeah, these were for the final assembly on welding and also the cutting to get it ready for welding. And you can see how it's all locked down here. You know, the clearances are so close on these headers, they really have to lock things in to make sure that it's going to fit properly.
Wow. Now this is a 5.7 Hemi header.
This is a SRT8 header, yes.
Wow. Oh, 6.1. Yeah, you can see right there. It
Yeah,
says
6.1 picture, yeah.
And with those engines and those engine compartments, it's really tight, really important that the pipes be consistently in the right place all the time.
Here's a finish header here, Johnny, that they're using for assembly. You can see how complex it is, you know, once you get the whole thing all together.
It's like a bundle of snakes.
There you go.
It's like a plate of spaghetti. Sorry for the food analogies.
And here's an original mock-up piece that was all pieced together.
So it'll start with a mock-up. What is this, a prototype?
Yeah, this is actually a prototype that Mike and the proto department has actually done on a car itself. This is how we create the original piece and get it ready for, then he builds the tooling around that, and then we go into production with it.
And so you're always comparing the finished product to the prototype piece.
That's correct, Johnny.
And here along the wall of the building you have a long row of welding stations where the headers get mocked up, the pipes get mocked up in those jigs and welded together. Is that right, Sam?
That's correct, Johnny.
Why don't we take a look inside one of these and see what's going on?
Okay, I think we're putting together some Hemi headers over here now. Let's check that out. how we located the end of the collector there, that ensures everything's in the right place for the exhaust system to hook up to it.
Oh yeah, that's a very critical dimension at the end as well.
Yeah, there's nothing left to chance here. That's why every header is repeatable.
So what does it take to become a welder on the welding line? That's kind of the cream of the crop job here at TTI, right?
Oh yeah, these guys do really good. They're very experienced, have a lot of time doing this, and know exactly what the heck they're doing. Quality is all important here.
I can tell. And so can your customers. Sam was pointing out to me in these baskets of finished tubes that they actually will finish prep them so that when the customer gets them, there's no witness marks of where they've been clamped or otherwise machined. So you can see that they're nicely turned by a grinder or a polisher of some sort here. So another nice quality step here at TTI. You got a big cage here, Sam. It looks like you got a couple of headers right out of the fixture.
That's true, Johnny. These guys just got through putting these together, and the next step here will be to finish out the port and do the final weld on that, which that's all done with a TIG welder.
Hey Sam, I was walking by this cart right here. It has a bunch of funky looking things in there. What are these and what do they do?
They form the end of the tube to fit into a flange on different engines, different shapes. Like a small block Mopar, you got different shapes on all four ports. You know, every one of them's a little bit different.
Right, yeah.
Actually, this is some of the older tooling. We do a lot of it now on the previous machine you looked at.
Right. Well, typically what happens here, you put a tube inside one of these and then you force the ends together and it sort of forms that board out of a round tube.
Well, the tube's clamped up into the machine, and then it's a ram die that pushes that over the tube and creates the shape you need.
Wow, so you have a different one of these for every single port, and if there's a special cylinder head, you got to make it for that cylinder head too.
That's correct, yeah. Never ends. There's always something. All of our flanges are 3/8 thick on all of our headers, small blocks, big blocks, the Hemis, whatever, and they're all laser cut. We do farm this out. We don't do that here in-house. So.
Well, looks like a fine part there. It's you can't really tell from the video, but it's a very precision-looking part. And if you've ever seen laser cutting or water jetting being done, you'll have an appreciation for the precision that these are made with. One thing I wanted to show you guys here is once the header is basically assembled, there are still some gaps and some bend issues there, and that's pretty common anytime you build a header when you're going to try to get that pipe to fit in the flange. What you don't normally see is the work, the hand finishing that goes into making these headers fit just perfectly so that you maximize your exhaust flow. Now over here we have a fixture where this gentleman over here is we're bothering him, we're stopping him from his work, but I wanted to show you the difference here. In just a few short minutes he has gone in and finished these ports, and once again I'm going to show you what was started with. He takes that port and he forms the metal. He's grinding and bending and finishing it so that each one of these pipes comes in. It's a perfect match to the opening for the exhaust port. Sam tells me that this is a body Gen 2 header, and as you can see, there's a really tight fitment with the shock towers. You can see how that pipe comes right down there. What I wanted to show you is the finish work. Sam, point out the TIG welding that's done on the inside of that flange where the pipe meets.
Well, in all the Gen 2 Hemis, we weld it flush with a TIG weld on inside the port.
Here we are in the loading dock area of TTI, and we've got more bins of headers that are getting ready to go out to the coating shop and either get chrome plated or ceramic coated. And these are early Mopar A bodies. It looks like they're these would be small block, right?
That's correct, Johnny. These are small block A bodies, 63 to 66.
So all you guys out there in Mopar land getting ready to bite on a set of A-body small block headers, your header's probably somewhere in the stack right here. Well, Sam, we've got a couple of headers over here that have come back from the coating shop. Tell us a little bit about what we've got here. What are the choices that customers can have?
Well, John, we offer 3 options on the coating. We don't like to send out anything raw. We want everything coated. And the nickel chrome on the left there, that's the least expensive coating that protects the headers and keeps them from rusting, keeps them looking nice. They will turn from the heat after a while.
One of the things I did notice about this is that because of all the prep work that you've done to the tubes, to clean them up and to make sure that they're not dented or scraped, that this chrome plating has gone on very smooth. These do look show quality, to me at least.
Yeah, and it's really not a show quality chrome, but it does have that appearance. I agree with you. It comes out really nice.
So what do we have here?
The next one is your ceramics. That's a satin finish ceramic, the unpolished version of it. Now these are coated both inside and outside. And,
really? Inside too?
Yeah, and the ceramics really reduce the underhood temperature by almost 50 degrees. That's a big advantage of the ceramic.
Oh, I definitely vouch for that. We actually did some dyno testing at West Tech Performance, and we tested coated and uncoated headers in the exact same configuration. And when we did the dyno test, we actually did some thermal measurements, and we actually recorded a difference in temperature of several hundred degrees. And so I can say factually, ceramic coating does keep your underhood temperatures down.
Yeah, it's really a nice option to have. And then of course we have the polished version of the ceramic as well. It just depends on how you're detailing the car and if you like it. If you like shiny or you like the satin finish. Basically, they both do the same thing.
Now, is there any difference in the amount of protection or the temperature rating of the shiny ceramic coating versus the satin?
No, negligible. Very little difference there, Johnny.
Right on. Well, these all look excellent. And when the headers come back from the coating shop, they get boxed and they get put into inventory, and they will go out to customers all over the globe. So when you order a set of TTI headers, you can pretty much have the confidence that they're going to have what you need in stock, ready to go. And of course, you can order your headers with a complete exhaust system. TTI offers X pipes, complete exhaust systems, mufflers, collectors, reducers, everything you need for your Mopar exhaust needs. One last stage before your TTI headers or exhaust products are shipped to you is that they get inspected, cleaned, and of course wrapped with protective padding so they don't get damaged in shipment. And this guy does it right here in the shipping department.
This is Hugo.
Hugo! Getting down in the shipping department. So there you have it. That's the inner workings of TTI here in Corona, California. Sam, I want to thank you for letting us have an unparalleled look inside of what goes on to make these Mopar headers.
Our pleasure, Johnny. Thank you for coming by. We appreciate it.
Right on, Sam. Until next time, This is Johnny Hunkins of Popular Hot Rodding Magazine.